here at EGF High School. Bemidji is back to its starting 11 to begin the second half, and that includes Ethan Mock, who is on a yellow. And we'll have to keep that in mind after the yellow card in the 22nd minute on a late challenge on goalkeeper Drew Cowlock, as Mock was trying to chase a ball down over the top and it bounded a foot ahead of him. And then as he reached out to get it, he ended up clipping the goalkeeper rather than pulling up in the end. Although, on the other side, Abdi Malik Abdi starts the second half for East Grand Forks, who also appear to be back to their starting 11. And he is on a yellow as well after he ended up coming in on a late challenge in the 37th minute. So two players who will have to be careful here in this second half as Philippi fires one out on the near side, finding Mitchell in the center of the field. A goal and an assist so far tonight for Logan Mitchell, who's had an excellent evening as he goes back to Ben Hess, who's had 2 assists this evening. Sauer now for Hess. Switches away from a defender into the center circle, clips the ball over the top. Hellwig chests it down, but Hellwig chests it too far as he strided on toward the 18, and Cowlock is able to gather it. That was a good idea from Hellwig, though, trying to bring that down on the run, cutting inside, but ran it right through to the goalkeeper. He's not had quite as prolific of a goal-scoring season this year as Aiden Hellwig, who had 12 last year, including 2 in the state semifinal win against Academy of Holy Angels at US Bank Stadium, but he has still been very effective on that right-hand side. He has been so difficult for defenders to contain. His crossing has been outstanding this season, and you know that he likes to pinch inside and go to goal as well, as Hess tries to find him down the near side. Knotted backward by the defender Rio Pell, and getting there was Hellwig, but he ended up tripping up the recovering defender who had come over. That was Emery, and it's about a free kick as Rio Pell had gone into the center. Free kick will be coming out outside of the 18 as Emery will just kind of did a little jog there to shake off that challenge, and now he'll step up, hits a bouncer right to Mitchell, who's in some space, 25 yards out. Mitchell pokes to the center. Ethan Mock turning, leaving it. Silas Hess, who's on a hat trick. He's going to go for it here. Hess, and he ends up bouncing it wide for a goal kick. As he tried to find the far corner, but ended up not being able to bring it back across.
This corner is always hard to see.
Yeah. Pretty good conversion numbers in that first half, though, for Hess. 4 shots, 3 on target, 2 goals in that first half. Despite 1 effort from distance that was blazed over, he was really on the mark, including with his second on a neatly finished effort. And he just tucked inside the post as Mitchell is able to win one back off the goal kick for a moment. Cleared away to the far side. Dickinson gets there. Now Silas has 30 yards out to the center. Chase Mock stabs it back on. It's gotten through. And it's Ethan Mock, and Cowlock is able to fight it off with a kick save. Comes to Hellwig, though, on the rebound. He lobs it back in. Mock on the head in front, and Cowlock is able to gather it up. Boy, that was a terrific ball by Chase Mock to poke it through the lines. Ethan Mock was in, but he fired it right at the onrushing goalkeeper in all black, Drew Cowlock, who made a good kick save, getting the knee down to fight that effort off. As Mock looked for his team-leading 16th goal of the season, but was denied. Ben Hess into the center. Chase Mock. Now again for Ethan Mock. This time he'll switch it back to Ben Hess. Referee plays advantage. Silas Hess has made a great run. He's onto the far side of the 18. He cuts it back. It's blocked. Second time. Dickinson flicks it on, but right to Cowlock, who gathers. And there was no rebound as Mitchell was loitering at around the 6. Michael Dickinson has had 2 assists in his varsity time. Last year, 1. This year, 1. Has never scored, though. Was asked a little bit about that on the trip up here today by Rick Tower. He's like, "You haven't scored yet, Michael." And he's like, "I know, I've been close," but he is aware. He's been trying to break that mark. He's gotten close on a couple of occasions and is a very industrious worker on that outside. He's tough in the tackle as he tracks back right on cue and is able to win one. And he's good at playing it on as well. He's got a good left-footed delivery that he can bring in from that far side, but just has never found the net. As the ball's poked through by Abdi to the outside for Chuka. He'll square up against Sauer, 30 yards from goal, as he goes down the right-hand side. Chuka trying to play a ball on now. He's got a runner coming through in the middle. That is Abdi. Abdi from a tight angle hits a cross, and that's beyond Abdi Najib Abdi, and that allows Hellwig to track back and clear, but only into the center as far as Ismail. Hamzy Ismail, 40 yards out. He'll go backward with it, and he'll find some support arriving behind him. Ismail back on it now. All the way back to Emery. Away from Ethan Mock, and he'll play it to the near side for Riopel. And now Abdi Najib. into the middle. Knocked down. Another opportunity here, though. Alshalon, that's blocked. And right to Silas Hess, who finds Ben Hess, and he'll lob it clear as Ethan Mock will just try to put some pressure on Emery, who ends up going with a backheel turn. That was dangerous away from Ethan Mock, but it worked. Mitchell, though, able to step in and win it back, and then Silas Hess goes between the legs and goes on. Hess now cutting one way then the other. Now has to switch it back as he got the Meg in, and now he beats a man again. Hess slipping through. Ethan Mock, can he reach it? No, Calic is there about 2 steps ahead of him to gather up. Boy, that was a very neat skill turn there by Silas Hess, but he just was not able to keep the run going. Punt played out. There's nobody there from the green wave for it. Ben Hess instead is able to camp, win it, and play backward to Michalacek here in the 46th minute. With Bemidji leading by 3-0. Silas Hess with 2 today, and 1 added by Mitchell. As Sauer hurdles the challenge, plays ahead to Mitchell, who turns it backward to Ben Hess. Options queuing up. He'll go down the left. It's Dickinson. It's Ethan Mock. It's back to Mitchell. He stabs past 1 tackle, but then runs into a recovering defender, as getting there was Ellis. Now Hellwig. 25 yards out. Goes square to the far side for Sauer. Oh, neat little flick by Sauer. Dickinson, just outside the 18, gets away from 1 tackle, but then another comes and clears it for a throw-in. Some good skill here from the Lumberjacks, moving around the 18. Several different guys with good little cuts there. And that ball from Sauer was brilliant. Ben Hess now 30 yards out. Back to goal. Plays backward, finding Philippi, who's pinched forward 40 yards out. Down the line for Hellwig. He'll turn, squares his man up. Gets onto his left foot and plays backward for Ben Hess. Hellwig now. Whole crowd of green jerseys in front of him. So he'll look backward. Centers it for Chase Mock, who slips it back for Mitchell. Back to the near side. It runs to Ben Hess. His cross is not met. It runs all the way to the far side for a throw, as Dickinson is not able to latch onto it. So that ended up being a little bit too close for comfort there, and Mock and Mitchell and Silas Hess had not quite been able to get their run set up there. And that ball in from Ben Hess, who ended up zipping it across the face of goal. Calic had stayed home. Just needed a touch. Thrown to the center. Silas Hess is able to win it. That was an East Grand throw-in. Ben Hess poked away from behind by Abdi, and now he'll look up. Abdi Malik Abdi. Ben Hess able to leap in, but he knocks it out to his own bench for a throw-in. Abdi will look backward. Is able to find Ismail, who just pokes it ahead for Abdi. As he looks up, sets up, and will fire one looking for a run of Chupka, but there is Michalacek able to nod it clear. Ben Hess just flicks it on for Hellwig, and he'll look up, just keeps it in play as he tries to switch it to the far side. That was a hopeful ball, though, and Kofstad is able to get there. Ben Hess back on it, though, as he continues to marshal that midfield, just moving side to side, getting forward, getting back. His numbers have always in some ways underrated him, Ben Hess, but his value is without question what he brings to the team. It was an all-state selection for the first time last year. His brother has been a 3-time all-state choice in the state tournament. Ben Hess was also an all-tournament team selection last year, 2-time all-state for the season is Silas Hess, although he has said in the past that he feels his brother really is deserving of that same kind of honor for the work that he does in all aspects of the field. As Chase Mock makes a nice turn 40 yards from goal away from a challenge. Ben Hess in the center of the field, 40 yards out. Man coming from behind, and that was dangerous from Abdi, who's already on a yellow. It's a foul and a free kick, and he might be getting one last warning here. And that might be it, because that was a very, very dangerous challenge coming from behind. Meanwhile, Abdi Najib Abdi is standing in front of Ben Hess, who takes the free kick anyway. Hellwig down the right. A low delivery. It's steered toward net and deflected away as Silas Hess was there. Back to Ben Hess! Parried away by Calic. Rebound fired out of the 18. Sauer now. Wide to Silas Hess. Down the left. Hess with a good delivery. Hellwig pinching in to the end line with another cross. Lob back in. Gets to the far side. Silas Hess lobs it just onto the top of the net for a goal kick. As that ball just pinged back and forth and then back again inside the 18 with no final finish. It was a good effort, a good steered effort by Ben Hess from outside, but Calic was able to parry it away. Goal kick played out. Chase Mock is back on it as he's able to win away from Ismail. Tiptoeing down the near flank into the center. Good step by Emery ahead of Ethan Mock. And able to clear. Now down the near side, Abdi Najib Abdi. trying to get a run going as he comes down this near side. Hellwig making tracks, able to get there and win it back. As he comes all the way back to his own 18, tries to flick it on away from Abdi, and it's deflected back off of Hellwig and out for an East Grand Forks corner. There have only been 2 corners in this game, and both of them have been to the green wave. After all that work, Hellwig was unable to clear it fully away as he tried to kind of backheel it away and then ended up deflecting out for a corner, and they say it ended up going off Hellwig. 51st minute, still 3-0 Bemidji. East Grand Forks trying to make the most out of this set piece as they pile numbers forward. This is Benjamin on the corner toward the backside. It's knotted away, still loose though, but then fired clear by Michalczyk. Lobbed back in and well out of play for a goal kick, as that was just hammered without really any direction or intent by Emery. Second time now on those corners that East Grand has not been able to produce a shot out of it. Quick goal kick by Bitter, played out to Sauer. Into the center he goes to Ben Hess, who slips it between the lines for Chase Mock, and wide now for Sauer. He'll look up, he's got options ahead of him, a lot of green jerseys as well, as he fires the ball forward, finds Ethan Mock, who had great control to bring that down, as that was really zipped his way. Ben Hess clipping to the near side and knotted clear ahead of Hellwig. Ben Hess back on it though, chest pass one challenge, flicks past a second. Mitchell into the 18. Silas Hess back heels it on, and Mock stumbled as he was coming in behind. That was Ethan Mock. Chase Mock now picks up. Bustles his way past 2 challenges, then runs into a third, lost it, and it's cleared away.
Come on, Paul.
Michalczyk able to step in though, as that was a great little setup by Silas Hess, but Mock, I don't know if he got his leg clipped or if he slipped there, but at the decisive moment he couldn't reach it. Now Silas Hess tries to switch toward the near side and will reach Hellwig as they got away from Abdi Najib Abdi. Now Chase Mock slips it forward to Mitchell. Down the right side for Hellwig. Hellwig with a low cross, and again nobody reaches it on a great ball in, and Jeff Mitchell can't believe nobody was there. Dickinson now with the delivery, and Cadillac has an easy hold. Boy, Hellwig, he has 2 or 3 of those a game that he fizzes across with a great delivery, and nobody attacks it. Strange one there. So that was a great delivery on a platter. Goalkeeper stayed home, and nobody came in. Ben Hess back on in midfield with help from his brother. Forward to Ethan Mock. Hurdles away from a challenge. As he looks back, clips back to the center and finds Silas Hess. Immaculate control. And now he tries to lob through, but he did not get the angle right for Hellwig, who I think was a little exhausted anyway, as he's been coming up and down this near flank here in the opening 13 minutes of this second half, but to no avail thus far. Still 3-0 though, courtesy of 2 Silas Hess goals and 1 from Logan Mitchell that got it all started. But now East Grand on the counter. Abdi from Abdi. Abdi Najib on the near side. That is not going to do for a cross as he ends up firing out for a goal kick. Never got his foot around it. And now 3 changes are up. Afshari is in. Oberg is back on.
Number 9.
And Yahya Ismail is also in.
Nick Oberg.
As Al-Shalan will come off. Kofstad is also off, and they will bring out Abdi Najib. Abdi will the green wave. With 26.5 minutes to play in East Grand Forks. Beginning of a 3-game week for the Lumberjacks. Their last full week of regular season games. On Thursday, they will go to St. Cloud Apollo, and we will be there as well for what is a rain makeup game for the Lumberjacks against section opposition from the south in 8A. In Apollo, who had an up-and-down season. They've lost their talisman from last year, Logan Lommel, who has graduated on. And the Eagles have had a pretty inconsistent season in terms of results and overall play, as Silas Hess tries to go over the top and didn't have a runner on the angle for that ball, and gathering it up is Cadillac. Saturday, Alexandria will visit, and Alec has moved into the north this year in Section 8A. They've had very inconsistent results this season, and they'll visit the Bemidji Middle School on Saturday for the Lumberjacks' final home regular season game, as Silas Hess leaves the trailing leg in, fouls at the top of the EGF penalty area, and it's a free kick. And then next week, it's Hillcrest Lutheran on the road for Bemidji with their lone game this season against the Comets to close out both regular season, conference, and section play. And then the playoffs begin after that. And with Bemidji top of Section 8A in the north right now, with the new setup for the section playoffs this year, that would mean that Bemidji will get a bye all the way to the section quarterfinal this year, as they've added a first round and a second round to the section playoffs this year as Hess ends up getting called for another foul as he comes in on Abdi at midfield, and it's a free kick, ended up bumping it off. Emery will step up. He'll lob this toward the 18. Chupka trying to find it over the shoulder. Bitter comes, got there, lost it, and it's going to be a foul against Chupka and a free kick as Bitter ended up running into the forward, was able to get it, and then was run into by Chupka as he tried to hold it. So it's a free kick coming out right along the end line as he takes quickly. But with the setup of the section, with the 8 teams that are in the North this year, with no season this year for Walker Hackensack Akeley, it will be in the opening round 5 versus 8 and 6 versus 7. Then in the second round, the winner of the 5 versus 8 game will play against the number 4 seed, and the 6-7 winner will play against the number 3 seed. And then from there, the number 1 and the number 2 teams will be entered into the fray at the quarterfinal round. And then it is North and South split up this year all the way through the section finals. So it will be a proper semifinal, North versus North in one semifinal, and South versus South in the other semifinal, as Ethan Mock is tumbled over by Ismail and wins a free kick 30 yards out right of center. Ben Hess quickly with it, down to the right for Hellwig. Tries to cut away from his man, goes to ground, but that was a good challenge by Riopel to get a foot in there and poke it away. Ball fired forward. Ethan Mock tracking back to it 30 yards from goal. Will go backward to Sauer on the far side with 23 minutes to play. Not a lot in this second half so far. A couple of opportunities here and there for the Lumberjacks, but nothing really developing in terms of getting into the 18, although it's still been pretty well controlled here as Ben Hess gets away from 2 challenges, keeps carrying on. Ben Hess all the way! Bottom corner, 4-0. Ben Hess all the way through, and he laces it into the bottom corner with a smart finish to make it 4 and add a goal to his 2 assists here in the 57th minute. As he blistered that right on the ground all the way through, as he was able to win that clearance, skip past 1 challenge, rolled past another, and then belted a perfect drive into the bottom corner. Beautiful finish, and a 4th for the Lumberjacks, his 7th goal this season.
Hurry up.
As he adds that to go along with his 2 assists tonight in what has been another really terrific display by the Lumberjack holding mid this evening, and getting a little bit more forward as well into the attack. Back into the middle of the field now, Benjamin turning and playing backward for Emery. Out of the back, and he'll go to the right. It's turned away from Dickinson by Afshari, and then he runs into Ben Hess, who took a challenge there on the leg. Referee lets them play as Ethan Mock picks up, tries to run through, and now it's a foul and free kick for the Lumberjacks, although I'm not sure if it was for the initial challenge or for a second one on Mock, and it looks like it was for a second one that came on Mock, as Ben Hess is remaining down and is just adjusting his cleat, it looks like. It's been taken, meanwhile, the free kick. Silas Hess to Dickinson, good delivery, knotted down in the center and cleared away by the Green Wave, as that was awkwardly brought down by Riopel, but good enough. Ben Hess is back up, and he's back into the fray as he steps in front of Chupka and is able to turn him and take it back. Abdi on his back, Hess able to play it on and find Silas Hess down to the left for Dickinson. Chests it down, looks up, cuts it back, and has it blocked. Dickinson able to snap in, though, and win it back, as he so often does. Ethan Mock couldn't quite win back, though, at the top of the 18, and now Abdi will play it away. Down the near side for the run of Yahya Ismail. Chase Mock able to step in front of Abdi. He was able to fire it forward, though. Chupka reaches it down the near flank, trying to turn away from Philippi. 2 number 11s dueling there as Chupka goes backward. Abdi 40 yards from goal now. Will come all the way backward and find Riopel. Down the line, Hellwig able to step in front of it, but he just ends up knocking it out off his knee for a throw-in here in the 59th minute. 21 minutes to play, 4-0 now, Bemidji, with Ben Hess adding to the scoring, the goal scoring, and he is off now as he'll come off, and Ryan Rodio will come on in his place in that holding mid spot. Meanwhile, Oberg is back on for the Green Wave. And Emery has stepped up with his throw-in.
16, Nick Oberg.
So we'll go into the center of the field. Brought down for the moment there by Alshawan, who's also returned. Chase Mock, 30 yards from goal, wins back, tries to poke it away, comes back to Rodio, and he nods it clear. Ismail now will have a go from distance. J.D. Bitter had a pretty good beat of where his post was there, and he just lets it fly past for a goal kick on the first shot of the second half by the Green Wave. As Ismail just tried to have a go from way out, but did not have the accuracy in the process. Far side, touchdown for a throw-in by the Lumberjacks. So again, East Grand will get a chance to come forward here on the far touchline into the center of the field. Hopped up a little bit there for Oberg as he tries to turn, but plays it right into Dickinson. Pokes it ahead to Mitchell. He's got Mock running through, and Mock has split the defense. Ethan Mock, one defender converging. Mock cuts away from him. Ethan Mock, parried away by Cowlock. Rebound back to Mock. He gets past one tackle, but then there's Cowlock again as that one-on-one duel continues between Ethan Mock and Drew Cowlock, and Cowlock was able to get a good diving stop as he got down to his left and was able to deny Bach, who has been knocking on the door tonight, but has not been able to add to his prolific goal tally this evening as Bemidji has won a throw-in at midfield. With under 20 minutes to go on the American Family Miller and Associates scoreboard, Bemidji leading by 4-0 at East Grand Forks. Silas Hess with a brace, Logan Mitchell has a goal and an assist tonight, and Ben Hess has a goal and 2 assists this evening for the Lumberjacks as they have been well in control here on this chilly night. Sign of things to come as we turn the calendar into October. Chilly games. They mean you're still playing, though, as the season goes on. If you're playing on cold nights, it means you're still going. It's been kind of the mantra these last couple of years. As Ismail leaps in with a high boot, pokes away from Silas Hess, but then runs into Raudio. Chase Mock buzzes in and is able to play backward to Michalacek with under 19 minutes to go. Now wide to Sauer. Lofting one upfield. Mitchell. Good control to bring down. Silas Hess overlaps and then plays it into the center official, who just shrugs his shoulders and his hands as he puts his palms to the sky on what was a stroke of misfortune there for Silas Hess. Here's Ethan Mock on a misclearance. Gets away, gets a left-footed effort away, and it just ends up dragging wide. And pretty harmlessly wide. Goal kick, and Bemidji has 2 more changes up. Noah Johnson and Noah Ritchie.
Is number 10.
2
Noah
Noahs
Johnson, and
checking the
number
line.
13, Noah Ritchie.
Chase Mock and Ethan Mock are making way. So 2 Noahs for 2 Mocks. First names, last names. There'll be a goal kick here for the Green Wave. From the center, fired away by Emery into the middle of the field. Oberg brings it down, make that Alchalon, and Silas Hess snaps in to win it. He's on a hat trick. He can take it if he wants. He will, and he's found the top corner. What a belter! What a goal from Silas Hess to complete his hat trick as he has lashed it into the top corner past Drew Cowlock, who couldn't believe it as it flew past him. Off that miscontrol on the goal kick. 3 for Silas Hess, and that one every bit as good as his second one. And he had a pretty decent first one, although it had a deflection on it as well. What a goal, and what a strike. And not a bad player either. 5-0 Bemidji with that goal in the 63rd minute from Silas Hess as he picks up his second hat trick or better this season. He had 4 against Duluth Denfeld earlier this year. And he's put 3 up tonight, and he has been pretty efficient when he has been on target here this evening. And he showed it once again there, what he can do when he is on the mark. Played out to the near side, and that's going to trickle out for an East Grand throw-in as the ball runs to midfield. 5 for Bemidji, 3 tonight for Silas Hess, to go along with 1 each for Ben Hess and Logan Mitchell here at East Grand Forks. A good trip to East Side tonight for Bemidji, although ironically enough for the Lumberjacks, it's in the western part of Minnesota that they travel to for this game, as Mitchell has poked one off of Rio Pell, and now he's trying to get it back from Emery, who was able to step in front of the top of the 18, and it was a good recovery by Emery. Alchalon gives it away to Mitchell. Now Silas Hess. He's got Dickinson down the right making a run. Dickinson and Hellwig have switched here for the moment. Dickinson with a low cross, and Bemidji, would you believe it, has won its first corner of the night with 16.5 minutes to go. Not a lot of deflections this evening for the Lumberjacks, despite the 25 shots they've had to this point. So Colin Michalacek will amble on up for the corner. Meanwhile, Silas Bitter and Nick Kibbe are on. And that will be it for Silas Hess tonight. It would appear he will come off. Dickinson is also off after some good work again on the wing.
Number 12.
And Michalczyk will have some new options to aim for now on this corner. So he'll come from the near side. Michalczyk will get a chance to set it up. He's got a lot to aim for as Michalczyk lasers it in. It's headed clear, only as far as Kivy, and he took a slight bump as he tried to get his shot away, and Kivy can't believe it. He thought he had been bumped off a little bit there as he tried to get that shot away, but just lost control at the decisive moment, and the Green Wave were able to clear. And Bemidji's got a throw in on inside of midfield. And Kivy kind of had his palms to the sky as he was running back, as if to say, I thought I got impeded on there as I was shooting that. Forward now to Ritchie. Good turn playing backward for Johnson. Johnson runs into the official who just stands there as a traffic cone as Johnson goes around him and then was able to keep possession back to Silas Bitter. After all of that, Johnson now all the way back to Michalczyk. Near side for Philippi, 40 yards from their own goal here in the Lumberjacks. And the near side for Kivy, back to Philippi. And between the lines, he finds Silas Bitter, who got clipped a little bit by Abdi Najib Abdi, who was a little bit unlucky there. As that was just a poke challenge, though, and it's a free kick. Ryan Rodio from the right-hand side will play this as Abdi, as he's done all night, just kind of stands right in front of where the ball is. Free kick is taken on the ground, though, to Mitchell. Kivy down the right, looking to the center. He's got Rodio in some space. Ryan Rodio ends up running into Benjamin. Had he gotten around him, though, there was some space for Rodio to maybe think about queuing one up. Kivy playing through into Ismail. He'll play down the line. He's got two runners ahead of him there. One of them is Oberg. He's got Abdi Malik Abdi in support as Oberg cuts back and fires a good switch out to the outside for Kofstad. He'll come back to the center, away from Oberg, though, and Kivy is there to clean it up and play ahead to Silas Bitter. Bitter takes a little bump, finds Kivy, though, back to Bitter, and a good switch finds Noah Johnson in the center of the field. And Johnson makes an excellent cut, turning away from a challenge. Hellwig's making a big run. Johnson plays it on for him, in stride. Aiden Hellwig looking up, on goal, parried away for a corner by Cowlock. As Hellwig tried to open up and didn't get a lot on it, as he raced in with that blinding pace of his. And wins Bemidji a corner as Cowlock knocked it away out of play. This time it'll be an in-swinger for Michalczyk as he goes to the far side of the field with 13 minutes to go. As Michalczyk will set up for the corner, and some of the traveling Lumberjack fans are delighted to see him in the action here as he swings in a good one. Cowlock knocks it down on the goal line and appears to have kept it from crossing the line, as that was almost the ever-rare Olympico there from Michalczyk as he swung that one dangerously on goal, and the goalkeeper did really well to know where his line was as Mitchell schools this man, hits across, Kivy in the center, can't get there, inspired away by Alshalon. What a move by Logan Mitchell, though, skipping past a challenge, and then able to play it into Sauer, lofts one into the 18 right to Cowlock, who's able to hold. Boy, that was out of the trick box there from Mitchell as he was able to flick it past his man on the end line with a little trick and switchback, and then got to it. Kivy wasn't quite able to reach the cross in the end, or at least control the cross in the end, although he did almost get the second ball through as Alshalon wins back in the center of the field. He'll give to Abdi now. Abdi Malik Abdi. Away from a challenge, he'll look up. He's got an overlap, but into that overlap comes Sauer, who plays it forward. Sauer has gotten up now as Hellwig has seemingly dropped back into his spot in defense. It's as if he said, go ahead and play up. I'll cover for you back here. As Aiden Hellwig, as Philippi now picks up. He'll take it up to midfield. Looking forward, playing forward. Able to find Mitchell. He's got Ritchie making a good run ahead of him. Noah Ritchie trying to curl into it, and the flag has gone up against Ritchie, who just had not quite held that run up as he tried to check onside and then make the run through, and he was unable to do so without being beyond the defense. That's a good crowd that's here today of traveling Lumberjack students here at East Grand. They even have a sign with them as well. And we're pretty excited to see Michalczyk take that corner as Mitchell is latched onto a loose ball from Emery, who tries to bump it off. Mitchell gets through. Mitchell rolls it home for his second and Bemidji's sixth.
leave it go.
Logan Mitchell with some industrious work there to hold off Emery, to round him, to step over, and then tuck it home again. What a great finish against the challenge here in the 69th minute. And a sixth for the Lumberjacks as Mitchell did it all himself there on that ball that was played backward out of the defense. It's the third unassisted goal in this half for the Lumberjacks, at least by my readings. The Bemidji Boys Soccer Twitter account may have something different to say, although they will have the official scoring at the end of the day. The managers, Eric Gaida, Stephen Peterson, and Will Hubert will make that determination as well. However,
it's always
that appears to be 3 unassisted goals here in the second half, which is such a rarity this season for the Lumberjacks. The only ones previously this year had been off penalties.
Oh, yeah.
Mitchell coming forward now. He's on a hat trick as he plays down the line. Sauer trying to get there. Has a man in front of him shielding off, and then Sauer tries to slide in to get there, and it's a free kick with 10 minutes to go. Lumberjack Live postgame will be coming up. We'll hand out our 9 bottling of Bemidji Player of the Game, and we have certainly one individual who is setting himself up to get that distinction tonight. We'll also have stats for you as well and highlights from the second half here. 3 goals on either side of halftime for Bemidji. 3 tonight for Silas Hess, 2 for Logan Mitchell, along with an assist, and a goal and 2 assists tonight for Ben Hess. As the Lumberjacks get rolling into this final week of the regular season with a stroll here at East Grand Forks as they have piled the goals up, and they have been coming quick and coming hard from the start here tonight with that early goal getting them going. Well, according to the Twitter account, it was a Logan Mitchell assist on Ben Hess's goal that started this second half. And by the way, they've got a nickname for the Green Wave, the Green Ripple. That's what they've also referred to them as Mitchell goes off the post on a header on a cross from Sauer. It was a looped header that just caught the outside of the post, and it's a goal kick. As the managers of the Twitter account have found another creative way to get out the distinction of a goal and also who they're playing against. Green Wave, Green Ripple, Green Tidal Force. So you could go multiple directions with it if you wanted to. Chested down by Silas Bitter. And back to Raudio. And onto the outside now for Hellwig, who's on the outside of the defense. Hellwig, away from a challenge, fires one looking through, and Emery just stood right there and said thank you very much as he was able to gobble it up and play away. As Mitchell was on a hat trick there, all of a sudden, as that cross came out of nowhere from Sauer, just outside the 18, and then Mitchell lobbed his header toward goal. Cowlock thought it was going wide, and he was somewhat thankful to see it graze off the outside of the post. Raudio down the right, Kibbe into the center for Raudio, and further on for Silas Bitter. East Grand still got a few games to go as well to wrap up its regular season, and then we'll see where they land in the section playoffs in 8A in the North as Hellwig tries to play Raudio through. Now it's Mitchell, and he tries to play Raudio, and the flag is up. Mitchell could have considered going for that himself. Instead, he tried to set Raudio free, and the flag had gone up for offside as the midfielder had strayed a little bit too far forward. The free kick, however, is played into the heels of Sauer. Mitchell, away from one challenge and a second. Logan Mitchell has it blocked. Back to Bitter now, 25 yards out. Bitter into a crowd, blocked as well. Abdi trying to clear. That's Abdi Najib, and it's out for a throw-in with 7 minutes left. Dickinson will come back on now, and meanwhile, in will come another change here. Nate Thompson in for the Green Wave, as Kibbe will come off after his run on both flanks there, as he had gotten a chance to have a go there, and was close as well on that corner that had fallen his way. Philippi down the right, into the center, as he gets away from Abdi Malik Abdi. Now it's Ritchie, good setup by Raudio. Noah Ritchie playing on through. Mitchell pokes it back, trying to find Ritchie's run, and he wasn't quite able to connect. Dickinson, though, now to the end line, trying to tiptoe it alive, does to the corner flag as he had to come backward, and it's out for a throw-in. Poked away by the Green Wave, and it went off Dickinson in the end.
That's crazy.
Throw coming up down the line. Dickinson almost able to snap in and win it back. Again, we will be with the Lumberjacks on Thursday as they go to St. Cloud, where they visit to Apollo, who've had very up and down season this year in Section 8A after being the top seed in the South last year, sub 500 this year, and with some very, very mixed results that they have put together. They pushed the top team in the South, St. Cloud Tech, in a 5-4 game. That was really one of their highlights to this point of the season. This ball's played out for a Bemidji throw in front of their bench. East Grand Forks, meanwhile, they are currently 5th in the Section 8A North QRF. And just behind Hillcrest, who holds the tiebreaker on them this year with, would you believe it, a 7-6 win for Hillcrest this season. Just crazy game between those two teams earlier this year. So East Grand is in the 5th spot. They're in line for the 5 versus 8 first round game, and then would they advance out of that? If the season were to end today, they would, funny enough, then, if they could advance out of that first game, be paired up with Hillcrest in the second round, with the winner of that game then to face Bemidji in the quarterfinal. Hellwig from distance fires one wide on the ground and out of play. Trying to score from outside back there, Aiden Hellwig. 5 minutes to go, 6-0 Bemidji up. Silas Hess for the hat trick today, 2 goals for Logan Mitchell, and Ben Hess has provided a goal and 2 assists this evening as well. Mitchell, by the way, 2 goals, 2 assists as well, with the one that was credited to him on the Ben Hess goal. Oh, picked off now. Stepping in on goal, it's Michalacek, and he is fired into the bottom corner for the 7th. Well, I don't know when Colton Michalacek had gotten up, but that goal kick from Emery went right to him. He skipped past the challenge, and Michalacek scores his 2nd of the season. Out of nowhere. And it was a good finish to the bottom corner as well, as he adds on to his goal on Senior Day, which was so joyously celebrated. His first goal ever for the Lumberjacks. He was forward there for some unknown reason, picked off the goal kick, skipped away from a challenge, and then went bottom corner with it with a great strike. And that's number 7, as that goal comes in the 76th minute. What has gotten into this guy the last 2 weeks? He's gotten the finish all of a sudden, and now he is back in the center back spot. And the crowd, by the way, the traveling Bemidji fans, few of them delighted here on the near side when Michalacek put that in the bottom corner. Well, one in particular, I'm told, throw in now with 3.5 minutes to go in midfield. Actually, that'll be at the, it's a foul actually on a late trailing leg that had come by the Green Wave, and so Silas Bitter will pump this free kick forward. Raudio trying to make a turn. No, that's Philippi on the turn. Sauer, meanwhile, gets tumbled over and wins a free kick. And as all of a sudden, defenders are playing as midfielders, and the world is upside down here at East Grand Forks. Sauer is queuing up for this free kick. He's going to take it himself, and Calic on one hop gathers it in his arms. I think I'm seeing pigs flying. Noah Johnson on to Dickinson. Recovery made, and able to get there was Hasmi Ismail as he'll play it out wide. Onto the right side, finds Kofstad making a run, and Sauer a little bit heavily in there on that tackle, but out for a throw-in for the Green Wave with 2:45 to play here in East Grand Forks. One more change, Yahya Ismail, the 8th grader, back on. And so come in for Abdi Malik Abdi, who will be a big part of East Grand Forks' hopes here as they hit the playoffs. He's had some big goal-scoring outputs in games from earlier this season, and certainly the Green Wave will be relying on him. He's got a lot of speed and a lot of strength up front there for the Green Wave. Has been off the mark tonight with his finishing, but he is definitely going to be relied upon for them to try to make a run through the section playoffs here this year. As touch is played down the far side for Mitchell and out into touch for a throw. So they'll start with the bottom seed if East Grand does end up finishing 5th. They'll start with the bottom seed. And then again, they would be in line for a game against the number 4 team, which right now is Hillcrest. Wouldn't that be quite the rematch? As Raudio tries to play one through, it gets tapped backward on the deflection, and so that'll allow Calic to gather it up. And then beyond that, in the quarterfinal, Bemidji would be waiting for the 4 versus whomever game. In a game that would be in Bemidji. Raudio poking away into the center of the field. Benjamin out to the right. It's Kofstad trying to play it through. Raudio ends up playing it backward, and it's Might be a chance here for the Green Wave. Bitter misplays it backward, but Michalczyk is able to snap in, and he'll play out wide to auxiliary outside back Aiden Hellwig, who fires one ahead that's deflected backward. Back into the center. Ismail now cut off there by Johnson. On the recovery, trying to play it forward, Mitchell, who's dropped into a midfield spot. Philippi is now partnering Richie up front as Richie fires one down the right. Michael Dickinson tries to get to it, but he's about 10 yards away as Calic gathers. As we're into the final minute of play here at East Grand Forks, with Bemidji putting 7 on the board tonight. And getting goals all over the team today, although Silas Hess's hat trick, the big output in particular. But Mitchell, 2 goals and 2 assists today, and with that in mind, he is our choice for the Nye Bottling of Bemidji Player of the Game today. So congratulations to Logan Mitchell for that honor. 2 goals, 2 assists today, now 6 and 7 in those categories this season. As Bemidji wins a free kick with 30 seconds left, and Abdi Najib still hanging out in front of the ball as it's pumped forward by Noah Johnson. And Calic able to gather in front of a adventurous, swashbuckling Chase Philippi, who had gotten forward there of the
10, 9,
center forward spot.
8,
Final
7,
seconds, ball flicked
6,
on, Bitter trying to
5,
clear,
4,
and he's able to step in and win it
3,
off Ismail.
2,
And Bemidji will finish
1.
out its 9th clean sheet.